Good guys, it's the Diehard Hour on Nothing But Knicks. What's good, guys? We are broadcasting live on Nothing But Knicks and also Diehard Knicks podcast as well. So, welcome everybody to the show. So this is a weekly thing here, 9 p.m. on NBK. Also, Diehard Knicks for now, but eventually we're going to just broadcast this particular segment only on Thursdays at 9 p.m. So, what's up, guys? Evil's here in the place. Try to switch up the look because I got I'm over 40, man. So I got like 20 different orange shirts. You know what I'm saying? Where I have basically wear the same shirt every day, like Mr. Rogers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the older you get, it's not really you're not trying to look cute anymore. You're just trying to have like comfort and convenience, man. So I got I must have bought like a 20 pack, and that's what I'm rocking with and stuff, man. But you know, we got a lot of things to talk about today. Of course, we made an acquisition. I also would like to talk about this Die Hard Knicks, Die Hard Hour intro. So I heard Sim played it last night, and you guys seem to like it and stuff. So I'm actually gonna have the artist that did the intro. He's gonna pop in a little while. We're gonna talk about the intro and stuff. Talk about a little bit of stuff. But we really want to talk about that one guy. That guy is Sochan, man. So let's get this going. This is this is the actual logo here from my podcast here. So it's an ongoing thing. I've been trying to figure out what I want to do on my own pod. It's good that Sim opened up the door because now I'm ready to rock and roll and stuff. So just getting my feet wet again, getting my voice back again. So I appreciate you guys, bearing with me as we build this thing here, man. So anyway, before we get into SoCam stuff, let me just pop in with my guy here. Get myself in. Let me get Sim out of here. Sim is in the background. There you go. What's good, man? This is my man, The Lettuce. He is the author of the new Die Hard Hour, intro. You know what I'm saying? So, how's it going on over here? How's your audio and stuff, bro?
Mic check 1 2. How you hear me over there?
Yeah, it sounds good, man.
Excellent. I got the wired joints. I got the wireless joints, but they got leashes on them. You know what I'm saying? This is the new wave, the new
Yeah,
old wave.
yeah. The old wave is always better, man. Wires is better than Bluetooth and the wireless stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
100% hardwire, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So listen, man, we some hardworking mother. Me and Sim was talking behind scenes. Sim is just coming out of meetings. He got to go. Right now, he's out doing some errands and stuff like that. So like the thing never stops. Us old people, they have families and have to make money and shit to survive on this earth. We got things to do. You know what I mean? So how do you balance you know your work life and this music stuff, man?
Well, it's really with the grace of God, man. And I know that it's very difficult. You have to know what you want and you got to grab it by the horns. Like, a lot of times, we're focused on we have to take care of our families, we have to take care of ourselves, we have to do this, and we let our dreams and aspirations fall to the wayside because we have to be husbands, brothers, co-workers, colleagues. And basically what keeps me going is the idea of hope for a better future. I just want to be happy, man. If this in fact is our only opportunity at this beautiful thing we call life, I want to be able to live it to the best of my ability. And it's hard. It's tough. You're resilient. You not only do you work hard, you're a husband, a father, diehard Nick fan. You're here putting it on for the past few years. Like, how do you do it? Like I'm taking a page out of your book. I'm just vibing off your energy. Like, if this guy could do it, I could do it too. I kind of look at it as inspiration. And it's fucking hard. We have days where I don't want to do it no more. I want to take my basketball and go home. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
uh but for the most part, it's just just sheer will and determination, and you got to be thoughtless with it too. Sometimes I don't think Nike has the greatest slogan. Shout out to Nike, and it's just do it. And I think that we should apply that to our life.
Yeah,
Simple.
just do it or you lose it. That's another thing too. And then,
Facts.
dreams never die. As a kid, you teach your kids to to go to school and stuff like that. But a lot of parents and a lot of people in general, they kill kids' dreams just so they could be like us, so they could work, to their dead, and they never ever get to sniff their dreams and stuff. So to have a dream, actually, dabble in it, let it go, and then come back to it. You know what I'm saying? That's a metaphor for life. There, you can't lose. What your passion is on this life, man. So that's
Yeah,
my thing here with when it comes to podcasting. I like to talk for our peers and stuff at work. They think I'm quiet and stuff. I'm not quiet at all. But I speak when it's time to speak. It's just the way I was raised. And then this basketball stuff. It's just my I love it, man. I love basketball. So,
yeah, and it resonates and it shows. Can you see me?
yeah, I can see you pretty good,
All
man.
right, great. Because I'm over here trying to navigate this beautiful setup you have here.
Yeah.
It's just fucking awesome. I was backstage for like 2 minutes. This was great. They're fucking serving me drinks. You got to come to the Diehard's next podcast, man. Nothing but Knicks, baby. They treat you real good over here.
Yeah, yeah. So this is not your first time, within the network. You were on the front stoop before, also. We were promoting some things that you were doing back then. So you were awesome. A lot of the fans, I'm not sure if they remember you from it, but you had one of the better episodes we had on there.
Oh man, that means a lot to me. I can't thank you enough. I kind of missed what you said because I was going to the headphones, but I want to thank you and Sim for the opportunity, for allowing me to add my contribution to that canvas that was already set, and it's like three artists coming together to create one cohesive piece. I'm very proud of it. I love it. We're supposed to actually get in contact with Sim a little bit later for some behind the scenes stuff, which is great. And thank you, man. I appreciate it. I hope the fans love it. I hope that we captured what it is that the Diehards Knicks podcast and the Nothing But Knicks podcast and the Front Stoop and I hope that we captured the essence of what it is. And when I sent you the record back, it was great. Your response to me in the morning was so fulfilling, and I was so happy. So let me just I'm not trying to take over the show, by the way, but
Yeah,
so let me just give the people a brief synopsis as to what happened. So the Any Star hits me and he's like, hey, I have an idea. I would like for you to see what you can do with this, whatever, whatever. And I was so busy with life. And here's the thing about when you're trying to do what it is that you're doing, life happens, man. But when you get back focused, you gotta, handle what it is you need to handle to move forward in a positive direction. And I was looking at my text messages and I saw something from E. I don't speak to him often, but when I do, it's always positive. And it's like, hey, can you do something for this? And I'm like, fuck yeah, man, of course. So I hit him up immediately because now he's my focus. And we talked briefly. He sends me over a record. It's like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night. We're both probably just getting home from work. I got to get up 4 hours later
yeah,
to
same here.
begin my day just like you. And he sends me this record, and I got to be honest, I'm looking at he shares this file with me, and I'm just looking at the play button, and I'm like, do I want to press this right now? And of course I press it, and I'm like, I couldn't go to sleep. And I jumped on a program that a lot of people have on their phones just to create a base, and I got inspired immediately, and I started to create, and that's the value. Like I was so inspired and I was awake and I felt alive, and I'm like, all right, so I cut this record over my leashes and I send it back to him within, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, maybe midnight, maybe if
Yeah.
we look at the timestamp. But I went to sleep listening to this record. I woke up listening to this record, right? And then I get your responses like 2 hours later, like 6 in the morning. And it was so fulfilling. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is great. He feels the same way I feel. And that's
Well, you,
messed up.
you did it in one take too, so I was amazed at what came back because basically what you did, for the thing is exactly what the intro is going to be. There's not going to be no changes to the lyrics and nothing. We're gonna do some effects. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Because because
lying.
yeah, because you went a little bit too diehard. You know what I'm saying. But it's the energy that I want. You know what I'm saying. Me and you we kind of like kindred spirits. Our energies are kind of the same. The way
For
that you think
sure.
is similar to me. The way that you sound is exactly how this my energy. What I want to convey to everybody that's listening. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, man. So it's a good thing. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, it
glad that
was
you
dope.
said yes. I'm glad you did it, man. You know, so
Oh man, it's good to be considered, man. I'm an old dog trying to get my legs back, man, and I'm starting to feel more confident. I'm starting to feel more confident. I'm starting to get my groove back in my own mind. And again, this is goes to anybody, man, whether you're playing basketball, whether you're playing chess, whether you're trying to do music, if it's a hobby and or a passion, man, it doesn't matter. You do it like nobody's watching. Do it afraid, man. I'm doing it afraid, man. I gotta keep it 100. I'm doing it afraid, man. I'm doing it. I'm such a private person in general, but at the end of the day, I'm releasing this stuff to the world. I'm setting it out for critique and energies, and it's whatever, man. I'm doing it afraid. I'm doing it like nobody's watching, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, man. My combat to them is, hey, man, where's your record at? Where's your
yeah, man.
jump shot at? Where's your podcast at? Where's your clothing brand? Where's your coquito brand? Where's whatever, man? What are you doing? Why are we always taking away from people, man? Just, you know what? If you don't like it and it's not your cup of tea, cool, I get it, but there's no need for the extra shit. Where you at though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
no
where I'm
doubt.
at with it. Where you at? You know?
You know, a part of this podcast tonight, I'm gonna be blasting some of the people in the comments from the last podcast. They always
Let's
got
go.
something to say, and it's so particular that they all saying the same exact thing in the comments. So to me, it seems like they're bots, or they just repeating, regurgitating what they see, just to build like a something against me. But they don't know me, man. You know what I'm saying? So they'll find out in a few minutes. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
and
So
I love that any star.
yeah, yeah,
I ain't gonna front. They probably just trying to ruffle your feathers, which is fine.
yeah.
It is what it is. I say it like this. You know what? At the end of the day, if 20 people tell you look like a horse, you probably got buck teeth and a ponytail, right? It's all good, man. Let them. It's their opinion, whatever the fuck, man. But good.
yeah,
I can't wait. I love it.
yeah,
E-Roo
man.
to any star, man. Four fingers to the dome. Tuck your thumb in.
So again, salute, baby.
You
But
already
yeah, man.
know.
So we got to get to the basketball stuff, man. So I'm gonna let you
Yes.
go. I definitely
Cool, man.
appreciate you, and more than likely, man, you're gonna end up being in the network probably. With the front stoop, we got some things we would like to do. Like if you're interested, what I'm saying, we'll talk about that stuff
Of
behind the
course,
scenes.
I'm interested. I'm there real quick. Shameless plug. Laugh out now. Am a God out now. Shout out to JR, the producer. Shout out to 33 North. Shout out to William Bostick. Shout out to Eru to Any Star. Shout out to my family. Shout out to anybody who has supported the Lettuce and or the Diehards Knicks podcast, man. We appreciate you. And we're here, man. We're here.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. All right, so thanks, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on, and here's to more creativity, man, more link ups, and just more positive energy, bro. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and thank you for the opportunity as per usual.
Yeah, man. I got you, man.
All right.
One of my favorite human beings on the planet, bro.
You already know it's the letters, baby.
Yeah, no doubt. All
Yes,
right, man.
sir.
Peace, man. Have a good night.
Cool. You too.
Yeah, man. So that's my guy, the lettuce, man. We work together, but when you get to work with people and you're being around people, I think the first thing I said to him, I think we had a connection the first time we ever saw each other. Man. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say I love you because a lot of guys say I love you, bro. I love you, bro. Oh my god, I love you. I don't like to do that stuff. But if I'm getting close, I'm getting close to it, real close to it, man. So yeah, man. So let's get into this basketball stuff, man. I know everybody's like, "What the fuck, man? This guy Eru's over here messing up Sim's channel and stuff." Because that's what you guys said the last time. You know what I'm saying. So I'll be watching comments and stuff. Everybody wants to be slick. Everybody wants to be smart and stuff like that. But it's all good. But I'll talk to you guys in a little while. But let's get to what you guys came for, man. We want to talk about some Knicks stuff. So the Knicks did make a move, man. We ended up getting Shamit. So when I saw this, I first thought that this was like a fake. I was checking the account to make sure the account was real. I'm looking at the pictures. Like, why would they choose this picture out of all pictures? Because this guy usually colors his hair and all kind of stuff, and they got him in braids. He hasn't had braids in years. At least from what I understand. You know what I'm saying? So we got this guy, Jeremy. I thought his name was Sochan, but I guess it's Sohan. Whatever. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't give a fuck. I add C's and shit to stuff that I want to add to. But this kid is exactly what we need, man. We're talking about getting a wing. Everybody always talking about wings and stuff like we going to KFC or something. But we definitely need size. We need rebounding. We need defense. We need guys that could play the forward position. Because we got a bunch of like for a better word, bunch of PUSSYs on the team, guys that don't bring it every single night. So we got OG that plays defense, Mikhail plays defense too. But when things hit the fan, man, we don't have those guys that step in to step up for our players. We get bullied. We used to be bully ball. We were bully ball before Cat and Mikhail came on the team. As soon as we got those two guys, it completely changed the whole outcome of the team. So now I'm hoping that the Knicks can catch a wave now with this after getting Jose Alvarado the other day. Jose Alvarado, he had like a career game, 19 minutes, and had 8 3-pointers and 5 steals. Come on, man, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Shout out to Puerto Rico out this mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm half Puerto Rican, so I'm usually full Puerto Rican at least once or twice a year. But now every time the Knicks play, I get to be Puerto Rican, more often. You know what I'm saying? So, wear the orange and blue all the time. Today I'm wearing a blue hoodie. I got my Diehard hat. But this blue is really the blue from Puerto Rico. And then to keep it funky, man, since everybody's been watching and looking at videos and stuff, the true Puerto Rican flag is the color is not really like a royal blue or a navy blue. That's not the original color. The original color is sky blue. So, man, I'm about to copy some sky blue hoodies, man, just to keep it funky with this Puerto Rican energy and stuff out there, man. But yeah, man, back to Sochan. He's a legit 6'8". Some list him as 6'9", so he's somewhere in between there. Like I said, everything about him, I don't need to pull out stats and tell you what I saw him do and all this bullshit, because you guys are diehard fans. That's why you're here. You don't tune into these podcasts, to learn anything. Most of you guys already know everything. According to the comments, you guys know every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So we just here just to talk Knicks and stuff. But this guy I've been looking at for the longest time, because San Antonio was not playing him. So people assume that San Antonio wasn't playing, he must be trash. That's not really the case. Because if you look down the if you follow his career, Popovich was trying to find a spot for this dude. He actually had him playing point guard for a little while. So he was actually the starting point guard for San Antonio for quite a decent amount of games and stuff, throughout the years. And if you look at his stats, I'm quite sure you guys seen it for 3 straight years. He averaged 11 points per game. It's just this year, he wasn't able to play because not for nothing, San Antonio has other guys that they have involved on the team. After a while, you don't want to play certain guys because you're gonna have to pay Sochan, eventually. Right now, if he plays well for the Knicks are gonna have to give him a contract. So they already have guys that are on rookie deals and stuff that are competing. So San Antonio made an executive decision and just didn't play Sochan because it doesn't really help them down the road. So if that makes sense to you, so because this guy's not trash, he's a good basketball player. So what do you guys think about this dude? So just to put it out there, there is a link in the chat here. So if anybody wanted to pop in, you could just hit the link. If I say something that you don't like, or you just want to kick it with the kid, just hit the link and just pop in. If I see you on there and you look legit, and hit me in the private chat, whatever. If you'd like to comment and start talking, just pop in. We'll make the assessment and then we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's open to anybody that wants to pop in. It's always going to be the same link. You know what I'm saying? So when you pop onto the channel, you definitely see that whoever wants to get in, just get in. So a couple things with this. He's an antagonist, so that's one thing there. So that's the main thing with him is the antagonist thing. So I got some things linked up here. This is all from Twitter. Twitter doesn't flag you when it comes to videos. So hopefully Sim's channel doesn't get corrupted by this here. But this is some video from him. This is Westbrook purposely throwing the ball in his face because Sochan is an asshole. Sochan is one of those guys that he'll say stuff to you, he'll whisper things to you, he'll touch you, he'll squeeze you, he'll do things to you, but will have no emotions with it. So the Knicks haven't had a guy like that in years. We used to have a whole team full of guys. Look at Mook Morris here losing his vagina here. LeBron James is doing this thing here. So I mean, he's a colorful dude. He got the colorful hair and stuff like that. All that is his way of antagonizing the opponents. So guys are homophobic in this world. You already know that. So just for the simple fact that he has those the hair like that, that's gonna make guys uncomfortable. So he's gonna get up on top of you and touch you and stuff like that. That's what used to get under their people's skin when it came to Rodman. As you see here, guys like Draymond Green. We got this bum here that's been all over the league. These guys they're annoying because they always run in their mouth. The thing with Sochan makes it what makes him stand out from the rest of those guys is that he doesn't like do anything. Like he doesn't provoke to fight. Like he'll provoke you to get under your skin, but he's not like a posturing guy. Say like we just said, Mook Morris. Mook Morris to me is the biggest fraud I've ever seen. He's a bully. You know what I'm saying? Because half the time that every time he gets into some kind of altercation, it's always like some kind of school kid altercation. You know, the fake pushing and all this other nonsense and stuff. Like Sochan doesn't get involved in that, but Sochan does everything to you to make you to make you react. So one thing I want to show you here is this there was a clip here with Luca. There he is. So as he walked past Luka, I think he like tweaked his nipple or something like that. See, so I mean, this is the guy that we need. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when everybody's healthy and everything, this guy's only going to play maybe 15 minutes per game or whatever. But somebody like this with the energy and just what he brings to the table, he'll be able to hold it down and do what he's supposed to do, which is antagonize the opponent. Get them off their game. That way, our starters will come in and they'll be able to do their job to galvanize the team and stuff like that. So this is what these guys bring to the table. Guys like Jose Alvarado, they do the same thing. They disrupt out there. They get the bench hyped up. So when the starters do come in, when the reserves do come in, or whoever comes in, however this works, everybody's energy is always up because of what these guys bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? So I talked about that type of thing. Rebounding wise too, if you look at the stats, I'm talking about this year it's up to 9 rebounds per game, but statistically throughout his career through 6 minutes per game, he averages about seven rebounds per game. So most guys that are like this, with the energy, they usually are good rebounders. Shout out to Westbrook. Westbrook is an excellent rebounder, and look at his energy. DiVincenzo was a good rebound. Look at his energy. Josh Hart is probably one of the best rebounding guards in the NBA. Look at his energy. So most guys that rebound the ball well, they usually come with that insane, just like weird ass energy. And the Knicks have quite a few guys now, man. So OG, he plays defense, and he's been playing better offensively, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't rebound well, so he doesn't have that same nastiness that these guys bring to the table. So it's not a knock to him. It's not being negative like you guys like what we're trying to say, but it's just that he just doesn't have that. So if somebody doesn't have it, it's okay to say it. It's okay to say that somebody doesn't have something. You know what I mean? So it's a thing. Yo, but I'm excited, bro. I'm really excited about this kid. He's somebody that I wanted on the Knicks for so long, bro. So I'm just saying what's up to these guys in the chat. I see let me see here. Going up to Kareem Grant. Kareem Grant is my twin, man. Thank God for Kareem. You want to talk about guys to support and stuff like that, buying merch. The first time I ever saw Kareem, man, he was wearing a Diehard Knicks shirt in New Jersey at Atlantic City for one of Sims meetups. You know what I'm saying? Sim has been very busy the last couple of years. A lot of life-changing things going on. Same thing with myself and stuff. So, I anticipate us doing more get-togethers and things like that. So tune in for that, man. So, I get to meet, you get to meet us. You get to meet us, hang out with us. Not that we're celebrities or anything like that, but we all came together through Knicks. And for us to organize and get together is amazing. And, guys like Kareem, when we see each other, it's all love, man. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave him. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave me. So we got still the real ID here, real AD. Wasabi said, change my clothes. Yeah, man. Now listen, man, I'm not lying, okay? I got like the same shirt, but like 20 different ones. So I wear the shirt, I might wear it, 2 days in a row, maybe more. We'll see. But there's so many of them. I just take them off and just throw them. A lot of times they get dirty. I just chuck them in the street, throw them in the garbage or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Daniel Berry Sports, he's always on my channel. One of the first people to say what's up. We got Old Man Knicks fan here. We got King Imbert. What's good, King Imbert? We got you guys got to change your names, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna be popping on the pod, man, make it so that people know who you are. This is Mike Doctor right here. He's one of the biggest supporters throughout all MBK. He says, why does King James flop so much? So Sohan tweets in the second year. Yeah, so I mean, this is what he brings to the table, man. So I mean, guys like Jerome, like I'm about to call him Jerome James, freaking King James and stuff. He don't want to see Sohan. He might bust Sohan's ass or whatever, but he don't want to see him because he's gonna have to change his mental. So let Sohan fool around with him for a little while, and then we'll bring our guys in. It just throws the energy off, man, and that's exactly what we need, man. Shout out to Bins LGK, big win the other day. Yeah, man. So I mean, I see guys out there talking about how this ups and downs. Oh, the Knicks win one game, we get blown out the next game, then we blow out the next team, and then we're going on an 8-game winning streak. We're going to this is what the 82 game season is, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not so uniform. Even teams like the great Lakers and the great Boston Celtics back in the days, if you look at their playoff runs in the playoffs, 7-game series and stuff like that, the Celtics will blow out the Lakers by 30 in the freaking NBA Finals, and then they go to the next game, and then the Lakers end up winning the series. You know what I'm saying? So things happen in sports, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. How long you guys been watching, but things happen. Things happen in sports. And the story that's the whole point of the 82 games. You go through a lot of stuff during the 82 games. And you learn a lot about your team. The team learns a lot about themselves. The fans get to know the players and stuff like that. For I think if you're a diehard fan, if you're all about nothing but Knicks and all about that, then you should already know that concept. You should know that concept about seasons and stuff. You have to go through that, and then the best let the cream rise to the top, and those are the ones that usually win the championships. The ones that get lucky, the ones that don't get injured and stuff. They shoot through the playoffs, on a positive note. So we got to keep that positivity going, man. We definitely got to keep that positivity going, because if you don't have that positive energy, then nothing good is going to happen. Nothing good is going to happen. You can't say you're a Knicks fan, but all you do is talk nonsense about the Knicks, and then you attack other people in the chats and start fights on Twitter and all kind of stuff. But yet and still, you want to win championships. You want guys to play hard. Meanwhile, your credit score is lower than the combined score of the game, or whatever, man. So I mean, people do what they do. I get it, but the energy, you got to keep it up, man. As you can see throughout the last couple of years, the playoffs, everybody getting together, yelling, gathering together. The vibes have been good, but now the vibes are starting to get a little creaky now, because now we're feeling ourselves. So now we're gonna start nitpicking again, man. Get off that bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sean Richardson. Just saying what's up to guys in the chat as before we move along here. Shout out to John from Still Knicks. Shout out to John from Still Knicks. He says what's good. Yeah, man. Still, I haven't seen you guys in a long time. I haven't been podcasting, man. So this is the new thing going on here. So let's keep it moving real quick. This is actually Sochan's first appearance on the Knicks bench. This was a couple years ago. As you can see on the side here, he actually was fighting for the loose ball. Turn the sound off. He was fighting for the loose ball, and he ended up into the Knicks bench, man. So this is actually his first time on the Knicks bench. Now he gets to be there, full time now, man. So this is funny how the basketball gods per se, do things, man. You get what you ask for. We need a guy like this. He was already on the bench at one point, man. We didn't even realize it, but now he's there permanently. You know what I'm saying? Definitely bringing exactly what we need to the table. Let me see what else we got going here. This is also another video of him shooting free throws. So Popovich has been working with him. Popovich's idea was for him to shoot these free throws one-handed. You know what I'm saying? So he did it for a couple games. I'm not sure if he's still doing it. But Sochan, has been working on his game, trying to figure out how to implement him into the system here. You know what I'm saying? But you work on a guy for so long. Once you get new rookies on new rookie deals that are new contracts, he's on basically right now he's a free agent after this year. You know what I'm saying? So do they want to resign him? If they don't want to resign him, then he won't play. If they don't want to resign him, so they went up and got other rookies like I mentioned earlier, and those guys are on rookie deals with maybe 2-3 years left. So the Spurs would rather work with those guys than keep wasting time with this guy when they can play other guys that are similar. They bring similar things to the table. So it's not a knock to Sochan. It's just that the San Antonio Spurs are on the move, to get better. And they're not going to pay a guy like Sochan a whole bunch of money when they have guys on the team that can do exactly what he does. So that's the concept that I'm getting from this. You know what I'm saying? Because if I ran the team, that's what I would be thinking. If I might like Sochan, I want to work with him. He's our guy. We drafted him, but at the same time, we time moves on. That's gonna be my message when I get to it, man. It's like time goes on. There's always gonna be another player. So that's what I don't understand with half of the people that are always complaining and shit. There's always another player. Turn the sound off here. This is just a little run through of Sochan's game here. As you can see, he's athletic, gets on the rim. He doesn't really explode, too much. He does what he's supposed to do. He doesn't do anything that's going to get him hurt. So there's no reason for him to blast the rim, because as you can see, some of the highlights, his head gets right up on that rim. There's no reason for him to blast the rim. As you see, he gets in there up on the center, hits him with a little shoulder bump, and then dunks it. He doesn't need to jump over him and master blast the rim. Here he goes here, just playing the passing angles really well. I know Chris Paul is passing attempt, but you have to be intelligent enough to make yourself available for the pass. So as you can see here he is running the floor. He exploded as soon as the play unfolded. He exploded up the court and he was able to get the little lob and stuff. So everything that you see here, fits in with what the Knicks are trying to do. Here he goes running back door to get the play here. He would have got the rebound, or Chris Paul could have passed it to him. That's one thing, the three-point shot. They were saying that he can't shoot threes. But the thing is, for a guy that keeps going up and down as far as minutes and stuff like that, he can't really show that he can shoot the three. He can. He's capable, So, these are all things to think about when it comes to Sochan. Like, I'm excited about the guy, man. I'm gonna go talk about it a little bit more, here. So, I mean, like just a patience in the lane. So somebody like this is not a bum. He's not a bum. So like I said, I see people talking about that this guy's a bum, and San Antonio Spurs didn't want him. If you look at him, look how intelligent he is. He knows how to get into the lane, turn around, pass to the guy, and then still make himself available for passes. Here he is bringing the ball up the court, changing the lane, knowing exactly, reading the defense, knowing exactly when to get to the basket and stuff like that. So this is a plus player on both sides of the ball. Defense, yes, we all know that he could basically defend everybody on the basketball court. He's an antagonist, but he's not like a complete nut on offense, man. He's a good passer. As you can see, he can get to the. He's an excellent basketball player. The guy's a former top 10 draft pick, for Christ's sake. He's only 22. What the fuck was you doing when you were 22? When I was 22, I was still trying to see how many times I could masturbate in one day. That's what I was doing at 22. At 22 years old, these guys, are so like above and beyond, what any of us can even imagine, when it comes to like actually fulfilling your dreams. It's one thing to get natural height and stuff, but to still go through it and make it to the professionals, you know what I'm saying, and get this opportunity, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. It's amazing. Shout out to State too. This is this video, as you can see, this is from State's Twitter account. So shout out to State. Me and State used to do pods all the time and stuff. But I say life changes, man. We're just not on the same page when it comes to time. So State's been doing his own thing. I hit him up every once in a while to make sure his mental is good. So it's good to check in with your peoples. Not just because you want to keep doing pods because you're trying to be Stephen A. Smith or something. It's because you develop relationships with people, and it's good to check in and make sure people are good. You know what I'm saying? Because people say they're good and they don't really be good. It's not really your business neither. You know what I'm saying? But for just to check in to let somebody know that you care about them, that goes a long way, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about OG for a second. OG throughout his career has always been injury prone. Since he's been a Knick, that first year, first half a year, man, he was hurt half the year, man. Going into the playoffs against Indiana, he ended up hurting his ass or whatever it was. Something was wrong with him with his leg that he couldn't play. This year he's been pretty good. He hasn't really been injured that much. He's been injured a couple times, but nothing freaky like he's been up until this point. But now, I'm looking at it now. According to Heavy Sports, Heavy.com. Heavy.com is a legit publication. They're talking about that he has a toenail avulsion, or avulsion. Excuse me, toenail avulsion. Basically, what that is that he cracked his nail. There was fluid underneath the nail, and then now the nail is no good, and they probably have to remove the nail and stuff. So, he basically has an open wound. Once you take your nail off, you're done. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to wait for his nail to naturally heal. That sucks, So, that's one report. But I see ESPN reported that he actually has turf toe. You know what I'm saying? Where is it at? I believe it's here. Because he has a toe injury. But I saw somebody said that he had turf toe. So turf toe is the same thing. Like you basically stub your toe really bad. Like you jam your toe. That often involves with that nail being busted, like I said, and you get fluid, blood fluid and stuff underneath the nail. And then only way to get rid of that fluid is that you have to release it. Once you release it, the nail is dead. You know what I'm saying? The nail is dead and the nail has to be removed. So I think that's what's happening here with OG. So it's not going to take a long time for him to come back, because that's happened to me quite a few times, especially the last couple of years. I ran a marathon and I blew all my toenails off, man. So it took forever, for me to be able to do normal things. I also bust my toe doing Romanian split leg squats. I was doing split leg squats, and the mechanism I was using broke, and I spiked my toe into the ground. So I mean, if anything along these lines, even if you just stub your toe, all this stuff is basically the same type of injury. It's not gonna be a quick thing. So right now he's listed as day to day. So thank God we got the All Star break. So the All Star break is going to give OG some time. So hopefully by the time the All Star break is over, he should be healed enough where they can just wrap it up and he'll be able to play and stuff. So that's what I'm hoping. But the thing is, that's what's so beautiful about getting Sochan, because now Sochan can actually play. The Knicks have been starting, Dior. So Dior is a rookie. He's kind of green. He's getting confidence and stuff. The 3-point shot, he's been knocking it down. He shows some crossovers. He shows some ability to drive. He has a heads up when he passes, runs the floor pretty well. You know what I'm saying? But he's still running out there like Bambi. You know what I mean? So he needs to get seasoning. He needs to get more used to, being, I heard people talking about that he needs to get out of his shell. He's from France, so the things that happen in New York and in America is different than how it happens in France. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to get used to the culture and things of that nature, man. So I think Mo will be dope. But if OG's out, Mo will probably start, and then you got SoCam coming off the bench. So that's going to keep us cooking until OG can get back. So I think this overall this is a great acquisition, man. Right on time too, because OG is going to be out for this for a little bit. So if we can get this guy Sohan, if you can get Sohan in the mix, hopefully he stay, because Jose Alvarado mentioned that he's going to stay home. That way he can practice and learn the playbook and that type of thing. Hopefully Sohan makes it to New York and they're able to do the same thing, where guys can stay local, they can still work out, get used to the facilities, get used to new living arrangements and that type of thing. So the second half of the season, the Knicks can really lock in, and we really could see what this Knicks team is capable of going forward, man. So I see a couple players, people popping in here. He said, I see Fresh there. Fresh says he can score 12 points. He actually averaged 11 points per game, in less than 30 minutes per game. So like I like to do 36-minute projections. I'll just like that stat because it gives you an idea what these guys will get if they were to get a little bit more minutes, man. So some of his stats, per 36, you're looking at 16 points per game, 14 points per game, that type of thing. You're talking about 7 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game. You're talking about a steal and a half or like half a block, stuff like that. So I mean, those are basically similar stats to what Mikhail brings to the table, what OG brings to the table. So to have somebody along that caliber that can do the things that those guys do, so we won't be missing a beat when these guys come in, man. So this is a home run here for Leon Rose. And we got to clap it up for him, man. I gotta label these buttons. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. It's not that one either. So it's one of these fucking buttons. I think it's this one. There you go. There you go. There you go. You got to cheer for Leon Rose, man. Let the kids sing, man. Let the kids sing the praises for Leon Rose for doing a good job, man. I feel like every time I post something, Leon Rose does what I ask. You know what I mean? So I just got that. I feel like I got the mental, connection with Leon Rose and stuff. So before I get into anything else, am I being negative? Am I being negative for all the people that were in the comments of the last video? Am I being negative right now? About the Knicks, man. Yeah, whatever. Let's keep it moving here. Just take a look at the depth chart. Going forward. So this is gonna get me to where I would like to get to. Let me just check to make sure. Yep. So this is getting me to where I'm trying to get to here. So we got Jalen Brunson as a starter. I like Josh Hart as the shooting guard per se, because Josh Hart is the better ball handler. He's a better full court player. He can rebound well. So I mean, him at the shooting guard spot, he'd be able to get those long rebounds, and that's where he gets his rebounds. He gets chase down rebounds that come off the rim, off of 3-pointers. He gets those rebounds really well. Especially if Mitchell Robinson's down there boxing out, or Cat is down there boxing out. Josh is the one that comes weak side and get those weak side rebounds. So it's perfect for him to be in that shooting guard spot. Then, like I said, he also facilitates better than anybody on the roster. Definitely better than Mikhail. So Mikhail's not a slouch. He does what he does. A lot of times he disappears a lot. He disappears because the Knicks just have so many good players. So not everybody can be the man every single time. So sometimes he falls asleep and stuff. But Mikhail is who he is. OG, I love. I had the issue with OG last year, but this year I've noticed him. I feel like he's a different player now. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely solid. But somebody that probably could have made the All-Star team this year. Just from his impact on the team. Karl Anthony Towns, I'll give it to you like this, man. He's getting a lot of flack. People calling him soft and XYZ. I made countless, little short videos and stuff, making fun of him and making fun of different things and pointing out certain things or whatever. One of my videos got over 500,000 views on Instagram, which is ridiculous over one of the Karl Anthony Towns videos that I made. But the thing with Karl Anthony Towns is that, like he needs one thing, he needs to stop complaining. Everybody says that he complains too damn much. Every single play he complains. But the issue with Karl Anthony Towns is that he has to start to believe in the role that he's in now. Like, we can't feature him in the post. He doesn't have any post-up moves. He wants to get the ball on top of the key so he can run to the basket. But a lot of times he's forcing his way inside. But my thing is, he doesn't have to do that with the talent that's on the team. He needs to trust the offense and whatever, and really trust his new role on the team. His new role is to get rebounds, bro. And this guy's, if not the best rebounder in the NBA, he's definitely top 3, top 5 rebounder in the NBA. Does he lead the league in rebounds, guys? Still, I'm not sure if he still leads the league in rebounds. So I think rebounds per game. So I mean, if he could continue to get rebounds like that, 15, 20 rebounds sometimes, then he's doing his job. Hit the occasional 3, get the offensive rebound, put it back. That type of thing. Guys miss shots, loose balls, getting. He's got to get his points out the mud. Because my thing is, we just can't feature him because he doesn't have any go-to moves where we can feature him, where we feel comfortable featuring him. I would prefer to give OG those opportunities, because OG's been able to convert those a little bit better than Towns has. You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks offense is really the team. Brunson does his thing, scores points whatever he needs to, but everybody else within the offense, that's how they get it, how they get their points. Sometimes somebody won't get it, like Mikhail's a lot of times sacrifices that, but then Mikhail is capable of getting a 30 bomb one night or so if need be. So we got to really trust that offense and stuff. So one person here, I see Mike in here. I don't know how long he was in here, but let me say what's up to Mike. This is the first time I've ever had ever spoke to Mike on the show. So let's get Mike up on here. What's good, Mike? Are you still there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. It's good to hear your voice, man. You sound like a doctor.
What's up, Diehard? The reason I got on was because you were talking about how everybody gets all crazy. They lost 9 out of 11,
right.
And it's you're going to forget all that stuff by the next month or two. Everything is going to change. So, it's a long season. Now, I don't know what you thought, but I didn't want to raise a banner either. I thought let the emotions get subsided. And then I thought if they get to the end of the year and, they got banners up if they win the division, if they win the conference. And I said, okay, if they do something else to get another banner that they normally do, then they can say something else on the banner maybe about the cup. But yeah, I just think you got to relax. I mean, it's a long season. The way I look at it, it's been a really good season so far. They won the cup. They've played the kids. You got to see what these young kids have to offer. And then they had that losing streak, but they recovered. So, I mean, now they got a solid 15-man roster. They're in a good spot. This guy, Sohan, he's a cool guy. He's not intimidated by anybody. He doesn't care. Like I was saying, he quotes about LeBron James, his rookie year. He's saying he's just criticizing supposedly one of the best players of all time. He doesn't give a crap about anybody. I mean, so that's exactly what they need. So yeah, I mean, this is good. So this is it's fun being a Knicks fan, man. I mean, you and I have been fans for probably the same generation. It's been a long. I mean, this is like I've told you before. My favorite Knicks lineup of all time was Oakley, Anthony Mason, McDaniel, Starks, and Greg Anthony.
Absolutely.
That was with Pat Riley, the Don giving out hit orders, bending his knees, crouching on the sidelines back in '92. And this is now they might get some attitude like that again with these guys. So I'm happy. This is fun. This is great.
Yeah, it's fun listening to real fans talk real sports, man. That's why I'm here. That's the only reason why I'm here. When I first got into it, man, I was listening to, Mike K and those guys, whatever. I just felt like they weren't really letting the fans speak. So it's good to meet fans and hearing you speak. Like you're speaking as if I'm speaking, man. So it's like I'm hearing a good song. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, the reason I became a fan of you guys was really you and State. I mean, this was back during COVID. State used to sit in the hospital with his scrubs on and pull his mask down, and because the point is, it's alternative media. It's like you guys aren't. I mean, you other guys do their thing. They got to eat. You got other guys like Knicks Fan TV and Ian Begley, and they're great at what they do. But it's not as unfiltered or whatever. You got a little more. Just personal, sort of opinions. So I remember watching some of the podcasts, and like I watched you and State for like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, these guys are smart. These guys know what they're talking about. So that's why I've always kind of supported you guys, and you and State are a great combination. State is just, in my opinion, just an insanely gifted guy at like pushing narratives, at just like playing guys against each other, but for the purpose of like getting the fans engaged, keeping the discussion lively, but also making good points. And it's funny when you see guys that try to do what he does and fail at it miserably. He just has an instinct for it. It's amazing. I'm like, and he's done an amazing job recently, just pushing people around, calling out Brunson, supporting Cat because he knows a lot of people want to rip on Cat. So he's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm always impressed watching him. He's just a talented guy. So when you two guys talk, it's a very good, combination. I don't know if it's like, if you grew up listening to Mike and the Mad Dog, and when there's a combination of points of view that makes it entertaining, that just makes a good mix. So you guys always have a good combination. But yeah, this has been. I mean, people rip on Leon Rose, and not every move has been perfect. But, they've made the Knicks a destination. I mean, there's a reason why Clarkson, whether you like him or not, wanted to come here. Why Sohan wants to come here, Why, Giannis, why freaking Giannis wants to come here, Yeah. I mean, and he probably will be next year. So that's the biggest thing they've done. So, and they've used, they made mistakes, but they've used a lot of interesting little advantages, I think. I think the Villanova angle, getting Brunson to take less money, everyone's going to criticize him about Bridges. Maybe there was something else behind the scenes we didn't know about, with Brunson and his money. Who knows? Bridges does need to be more assertive, it seems. Like he's just too, like when he just expresses his talent and just gives all those mid-range jumpers and just, he's just a little too like passive. Like he's too like, he defers to other people. But when he gets going, he gets going. So, yeah, I mean, it's nice to see the team be a destination for other players. And I mean, they've got it, I don't think it's championship or bust. I think it's like the next 3 or 4 years is championship or bust. Absolutely. If they don't win one championship in the next 3 years, this whole thing was a failure because they're going all in. They traded all their picks. They've signed these big. They've got after these big name players. So this is it. But this is a high time to be a Knicks fan. What you remember last year? Like it was like I don't know. It was like after they beat the Celtics and like Mitch was rolling out in his truck and Dolan's handing out basketballs like it was a Christmas Carol or something. It was like Ebenezer Scrooge like coming out saying Merry Christmas to everybody. I mean, it was hilarious. But yeah, this is a high time to be a Knicks fan, and they're going to be good, the next 2 or 3 years, really good. So, you may even get your favorite player, Mitchell Robinson, to contribute.
Yeah, I was waiting for it, man. Everybody keep asking me about the Mitch Robinson stuff, man, but I got nothing bad to say about him. I've always wanted him to play a certain role, and I think that he's playing that role. And it's just that everyone was making it seem like he was Patrick Ewing, and he has a very specific thing that he does. And if he's allowed to do it, then he's amazing. But if you're expecting him to do other stuff, the money Mitch stuff, all that stuff is what used to drive me crazy. That's why I had those takes about Mitch Robinson.
Well, he's a starting center on a mediocre team. He's the best backup center in the league on a championship team. And the two things that he had a problem with were free throws and being, being injured. And what they've done now is they got this new free throw coach. Like, I don't know what he was doing for like 4 years at home. I know he's got his homeboys and he's got his crew and everything, and he's still close with his high school coach. All that's great, but I'm sorry, man. This is the NBA. You need a legit shooting coach, who can kind of adapt to what you've done. And now we've got this guy, Peter Patton or something like that.
Yeah.
So he seems to have legitimately found a way to shoot free throws now, and he's not shooting 10 in a row like he did, but he's definitely turning the corner on that. And this situation where he plays 20 minutes, doesn't play back-to-backs and completely dominates during the time that he's in there, that's it. This is the game-changing guy who, once he gets into that role and he's in the playoffs like that, he's worth every penny. So as long as he hits 60% and, doesn't encourage a team to do hack a Mitch or anything, he can totally change the game. That's what I want to see. Play 60 games, 20 minutes, 9 rebounds, and just dominate, especially these other players Wemby or Jokic or some of these tough guards who are just not used to anybody like Mitchell Robinson guarding them. That's the great thing about him. There's nobody really in the NBA like him with that length, that sort of agility, that size, just that explosiveness. You see the alley-oop he made last night. I think it was Bridges or somebody threw it to him. He caught it behind him and twisted and made it on the right side of the basket. I was like, damn, man. I mean, I didn't know he could still do that. I mean, we're not rookie year Mitch right there. That was impressive. So
yeah, definitely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming in. But we only got maybe 8 minutes left on the show, so I kind of want to blast. You know how I get down, man. I kind of want to blast some guys real quick before you get up out of here.
See you, Diehard. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. All right, no doubt, man. Thank you, man.
All right.
All right, so that's Mike K there. I call him the Mike Doctor. Let me get this up here. I called him the Mike Doctor, man. So that was a treat for me to hear him actually speak, because he's always commenting and always sending me stuff behind the scenes stuff. We have conversations and stuff, on the internet or whatever, man. So it's good to hear his voice and stuff there, man. So that was a treat for me. I don't know if it was a treat for you guys, hearing Mike there. So I'll be sharing that with my friends, like Mr. State would have loved to hear that too. So I'm gonna let State know that you popped in. I see Ralph is in the place. Ralph, there goes Ralph. We always call him Ralph, but his name is Raphael. His name is Raphael, for Christ's sake. But everybody calls him Ralph. But anyway, Ralph, what's up, man? I have a link here, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we have a hard cutoff. I don't know if you're on Diehard Knicks or if you're on Nothing But Knicks. But I have a hard cutoff at 10 o'clock, guys. So we have a countdown clock that we was working with, to let everybody know. But that's not really working for how I'm doing the show and stuff. But I'm just keeping an eye on it right now. I see that we have 7 minutes left, so I'm trying to keep it a hard, hour, Diehard hour show. So if anybody wants to pop in, I'll let Mike talk, man, because Mike was saying some good stuff, that we all needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? I know most of us agree with what he's saying too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity, if they want to pop in, just to kick it a little bit. You want to make some comments. You want to be mad at me for something. You want I don't like what you said or whatever. Just get in the chat and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you be respectful, no cursing and stuff like that. Even though I do curse, but I don't curse at people. So I'm not gonna tolerate people cursing at me or anybody else on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature, especially keywords too. You know what I'm saying? People need to be respectful. But like I said, Mike did a wonderful job, man. So that's exactly what we're looking for on this show, for people coming in, to conduct themselves the way that Mike K did, man. So definitely appreciate Mike K there. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming in. But yeah, man, let's talk about the depth chart here. So a lot of guys are talking about Kotalik, and we were talking about trading him to get a player like Sochan. You know what I'm saying? But guys are like, oh, how are we going to trade Kolek? We need a point guard off the bench, this and the other. But at the same time, guys are talking about they wanted to get Jose Alvarado. So now we got Jose Alvarado. So then why do we still hold on to Tyler Kolek? Oh, Tyler Kolek, we're going to need a point guard for this, that, and the other. But we can only play with so many people. Everybody says, oh, there's only one basketball. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And then also, too, you got to think about the rotation, especially when it comes to the playoffs. How many players is Mike Brown going to play in the playoffs? He's not going to play 12 and 15 players, man. So right now, Tyler Kolek, where does he fit in the depth chart? Because right now, a guy like Deuce McBride, for instance. So let's get into the pitches. Where does Deuce McBride fall right now? Because right now Shamit is available. Shamit was hurt earlier, but right now Shamit is available. So between Shamit and Jose Alvarado, that's my two backups right now. So Tyler Kolek doesn't have room to play. Right now Deuce McBride doesn't even have time to play. Oh yeah, but Shamit could play the small forward and Deuce McBride could play the two. I get it. I definitely get it. But now if Sochan comes in and he actually contributes, I don't want to bench on Diawara. I think Diawara's height and things like that is more beneficial to the team, for the actual team. So if we can get Diawara and Sohan into the mix, I would prefer that over adding another a shooting guard, another small shooting guard. And a lot of people seem to think that Deuce McBride could play point. But if you got Deuce McBride playing point, then what do you need? You get what I'm saying? What do you need Tyler Kolek for? We got Jose Alvarado. What do we need Tyler Kolek for if Deuce McBride is the backup point guard? You know what I mean? So it's just like we're just chasing our tail right now. Is it something that we can do anything about right now? No. But this is something to deal with in the offseason. Of course, these guys are going to be valuable off the bench. Guys get hurt all the time. Shamit could get hurt again, and then we're going to be crying for Deuce to play. And then if Deuce is able to come back and get back to being Deuce, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But we cannot play, Tyler Kolek, Jose Alvarado, Deuce McBride, and Shamit. We cannot play all four of those guys. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson too. Jordan Clarkson's a handsome motherfucker, man. Let me get this up here. Yeah, man, look at this handsome dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? The good-looking guy. He's a lady killer. A guy can still play. He's lost a step over the years, though. He's lost a step now, but he still can score and stuff. He cannot find a rhythm. He just can't find a rhythm. So he's basically useless to us right now. Because I would rather play Shamit over this guy at this point. You know what I'm saying? But now when Deuce comes back, Deuce is playing over Clarkson. He's definitely playing over Clarkson. So now you have a conundrum. You have all these guards. Not everybody can play. Everyone's talking about that we need to get an enforcer. We need to get guys to play defense and stuff like that. So then we have to play Diawara. We have to play Sochan. Those guys are just solidified in the rotation, just out of necessity, basically. So after that, now you got Mitch. Mitch is an essential, like Mike K was saying. Mitch is essential to what we're trying to do here. 17 minutes per game. Coming off the bench. Spot starting at times. He's essential. So you got those three. You got Mo, you got Sohan, who I think will be really good for the Knicks. I'm hoping. You got Mitch Robinson. Those guys are essential. You got Jose. Jose now is completely essential to what we're trying to do here. So then off the bench, at least you that fifth guy off the bench. Is it Shamit? Is it Deuce? Is it Kolek? It can't be all of them. It just simply mathematically is impossible. It cannot be all of them. So hard decisions. Guys are going to have to sacrifice. Guys are going to have to learn to cheer. Guys are going to have to do their work behind the scenes to stay ready just in case something happens. You know what I'm saying? So this is where we are with the guards, man. So going forward, it's a conversation that needs to happen. We cannot keep this many guards here. We have to consider how can we make the team better. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do us anything to have all these guys because, I'm using Jordan Clarkson as an example. Why would he want to sit on the bench for us and just have to wait for he's a guy that should be in somebody's rotation. Jordan Clarkson could still be in somebody's rotation. Deuce McBride deserves to be in somebody's rotation. Shamit and Kolek also, they deserve opportunities as well. But like I said, we just simply do not have the opportunities all on the same team. We just don't. So maybe if we get another rookie, some kid that's like 19 or 20 or something like that, somebody in that range that can sit and a couple years like that, but not guys that are prime and ready to play. These guys deserve it. So these are the conversations that Leon Rose and stuff are going to have to address at some point during the offseason. You know what I'm saying? This year, guys are going to have to stay ready because guys have been hurt. The last couple of years and stuff, man. So that's my take on the guards and stuff. It's not necessarily being negative towards Deuce. So let's get to that. You know what I'm saying? So this is the last pod. I was wearing an orange shirt. Like I said, I gotta try to remember to switch my shirt because I'm always wearing this orange shirt underneath my work clothes and stuff there. But yeah, I had to go to the comments, right? So one of the things guys were talking about Sexton. That I said I wanted to trade for Sexton. He makes 18 million. I didn't say that I wanted to trade for Sexton this offseason because yes, any idiot with a computer, like are we in front of a computer right now? Can't you just Google everything? Doesn't everybody have access to the same trade checkers and other information and stuff? So yes, I know that Sexton makes $18 million. Yes, I know the only way that we'd be able to trade for him is if we got rid of Cat and us, this, that, and the other. We went through it. I posted trades up for Sexton, involving Cat, involving McHale, involving, just those guys. Those are the only guys that I really wanted to trade at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way that we'd be able to get Sexton. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's impossible, but I was saying that it would have been nice to get him, within the last couple of years, because he's changed teams quite a few times. So it would have been nice for the Knicks to get Sexton during that time period when he was moving around. That's what I was trying to say. And just for the simple fact, Sexton as the player, forget about cap and stuff like that. Forget about salary and stuff. It would just be nice to have a guy like him on the Knicks. Somebody that's just like a mad dog on defense and stuff like that. And I think the Knicks got their guys. We got our Jose Alvarado, who fits that bill. We got our Sohan, that fits that bill. So I think we're good in that regard, man. You know what I'm saying? So I can still be a fan of a player from afar. Not saying that I'm mad that we didn't get him. I'm just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So here's another thing too. Anything positive at all? Deuce is mediocre. See, so this is what it is. Everyone is upset because I was just talking, I was quote unquote talking badly about Deuce the last podcast, but I wasn't. It has to do with the personnel on the roster, how many guards that we have. Deuce McBride can't play point guard. He doesn't need to, he's just not a good point guard. He's really a shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? That's not a knock to him. That is the truth. He cannot run a team. Jose Alvarado is a whole different story. He definitely could do that job. So as long as he's healthy and stuff like that, that's what we need him to do. And and unless he's not healthy, then we cannot look for anybody else to play that position. He has that. He came in here 2 games already, and he owns that position already now. Just to scroll through here, just looking through people's stuff here. According to this guy, the whole league is trash and stuff like that. Yeah, the whole league is trash. It's not your it's not your uncle. I'm your uncle. It's not your uncle's NBA. Even from like 2015s and the teens and stuff. The NBA is so much different now, just because of the way they're calling it and stuff. Post players are not the same. Guys are doing too much shoulder blocking and elbows and hooking and stuff like that. If you look at the greatest eras of big men play, post ups and stuff like that, guys didn't really do that. I think the first person that I really noticed doing that, because even Shaq did the banging, but Shaq never just blatantly was just elbowing guys down like a hammer. Dwight Howard was the first person that I've ever seen really start that elbowing stuff, just battering ramming himself into people to score. He's the only one that the first one that I really seen do that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean Ewing and even Shaq when Shaq was young was on Orlando and stuff like that. You want to talk about just some of the great guys, Brad Daugherty, Elijah Wan, even Kevin Duckworth, anybody that was in the post, they made their moves and stuff like that, drop step spin moves and things of that nature, but there was no high elbows and all that. If they did it, they was doing it to hurt somebody on purpose, but not just like basic moves. It wasn't just like this like crazy thing, like this the post game, the finesse of it, the science of it, the science of the post game is just not the same anymore. It's just the era that it is now. It's not, it's not anything negative or anything like that. But there's just one person I want to bring up here. And everybody keeps bringing up the same takes, man. So it's just questionable, that what's going on here. So one person I want to bring up, because he's like really the only person that has a picture. I see this young lady has a picture, but we're not gonna say nothing about the young lady. We'll do this guy here. So just click his page and stuff. I see he has a military outfit. So thank you for your service. This is Richard Bright here. As you can see, he's talking about whatever he's talking about here. But if you click one of his videos, I believe it's this one. You click the video, he goes on to say, yeah, man, if you like this video or whatever, it really helps with the algorithm and stuff like that. If you like and subscribe, whatever, it keeps me motivated and make me do more content. The whole spiel that most people do when it comes to these podcasts and stuff like that. So this guy, he does that on here, right? So he knows the deal. You know what I'm saying? A guy like this knows the deal. So I think I showed him a little bit too much. So let me get rid of this guy. Let me just exit out altogether. So yeah, man. So a guy like that, he knows the deal already. So he knows that, yeah, the algorithm works, you know what I'm saying? Please like and subscribe and this, that, and the other if you like the content. But he comes on into the comments giving negative comments or whatever, because he knows what the negative comments would do to a channel and stuff like that. So this is the type of people that pop in and give these comments and stuff like that. So guys want to get the attention. You want to trash the channel. You want to trash my show. You want to try to start some shit, when it comes to that, man. You know what I'm saying? But what it does just point the finger right back at you. It's one thing if you have something valid to talk about, or something that's truthful to talk about a thing, but just putting something blatant, on like that, just to try to screw with somebody's algorithm, or try to like sabotage somebody's show or something like that. It just shows exactly who you are. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, there's a link in the chat, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody doesn't like what I'm saying or whatever, please pop into the chat and let me know. Anything that you would like to talk about, please feel free to pop on and we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the comments, I definitely appreciate everybody from coming in. I definitely appreciate the opportunity for that the Sim is giving, opening up the channel for my show and stuff. I can do the show on my channel. You know what I'm saying? But Sim has always been supportive, whatever. He asked me if I wanted to do it before, like years ago when Steph, like I said, Steph and Still Knicks, when those guys were on the channel, he asked me to do it too, but I just didn't want to do it. I prefer to help everybody. That was my role to me. I wanted to help everybody. I just loved watching everybody do their thing. And if they needed me, they needed somebody to stand in or whatever, I would love to do it. That was my role. But now I guess it's my turn to do my thing. I do it the way that I do it, and it is what it is. That's why you call it the Diehard Hour. So right now I'm actually overtime 7 minutes, man. So I'm up out of here. See you guys next time. Where's my thing at? Nope. There you go. We haven't reached the limit for the show. So I'll catch you guys next time. Next Thursday actually is my son's birthday. He's turning 10. So I probably won't be here for the show on Thursday. I might do it Wednesday. And if you don't see me Wednesday, then you might see me Thursday night, with the post game show. So we'll play it by ear, man. But we'll be back for February 26th at 9:00 for that Thursday, because I definitely have a show lined up for that with a special guest and everything like that, man. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Like I said, Ralph said he's at work and stuff. He's not really got time, whatever. But listen, man, the court is open for anybody that would like to pop in and talk. Once again, thanks Mike K for being our first guest on the show, and gave some great takes and stuff like that. If anybody else is interested, I'll be glad to pop you in there. All right, Anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in. It's been Diehard Eru with the Diehard Hour, as I do on my show. Hit 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, peace.